Hello everyone, I'm just reporting quite quickly on the new moon in August, which was the 4th yesterday of August in Leo. So I looked just at two astrologers even, Pam Gregory and Molly McCord, and they both have different aspects to that, but we'll have a quick romp through. So it's very intense energy. And at the moment it might feel, well, there's all sorts going on in the UK, you've probably seen the news. The pace picks up again on the 12th of August, according to Pam Gregory, and it's very dynamic. Mars in Gemini, speed stuff up, it's a mutable air sign, so you get fast news coming in, events happening, and this all goes on till around the 5th of September. And also not forgetting though that August the 5th, which is today, to the 27th, is Mercury Retrograde. So that can affect things as well, where you need to go over things in more detail. Plans need to be looked at better. You might need to put things on hold a little bit and redo them. Exes can come on the scene and you might have to, sort of deal with loose ends, things like that. And, it really does kind of sometimes affect us. Also, things like machinery can go wrong, or IT staff, things like that. So also, I believe Leos and Virgos will be affected by this because it starts in Virgo and then it changes to Leo on the 14th of August. So, sorry, it might affect you a little bit more. So just take your time on things and plan things better and watch out for logistics and travel. You might have to change travel plans, so just watch out on those. So also we have the Lion's Gate coming. That's meant to be a portal of energy from the 26th of July. It lasts to the 12th of August, but it really peaks around the 8th of the 8th, and they call it a portal where the Earth, Sun, Sirius and Orion all kind of align. And it's a good period meant to be good for healing, manifestation and spiritual stuff. You'll see loads online about that. So also you've got fluctuation possible in currency and metals. That was around the 2nd of August because Pam she records way ahead, you see. And that was a Venus Leo square with Taurus Uranus. And you've got possibly relationships. So there might be phases where people need more space, and it's kind of around this time really. So just watch out for that. And this time the new moon is really about setting new intentions. It does pass very, very quickly, but it's good. Leo is good for creativity. Pam talks about drama, dramatic things, colour, a lot of colour, confidence, shining your light, social things, integrity, leadership, and it's about the lion. Leo's the lion, and it's very strong on sovereignty, who we are, what makes us tick, what we want to do on our own, and autonomy. And it's about owning our power. And she says it's about living from inside out. So obviously in the UK, we've got these riots going on. It's rather a dramatic time. Now, my inner guidance is telling me it won't last. So I really hope not. And really maybe don't look at all the news reports. Maybe look at one or two and then just park it. But obviously I've had to look. I was really shocked. But there you go. So yeah, Mars is actually really sort of a bit warlike and it's been very active. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's like got involved and, that's sort of stirring things up. But also Pam talked about growing your own food at home and buy locally. Things like farmers markets, be kind of living off your own means, and almost maybe look at even forms of self-employment with this feeling of sovereignty, so that we're in charge of our own lives. That's all well and good, but it's about also surviving. So obviously you have to be pragmatic and really about evolution and having a blank canvas at the moment. Things are less predictable socially, but if we are more empowered, we're more creative and we live more consciously, it's a good thing. She talked about the new moon in Leo. It's at, it was yesterday. And it also has links with Jupiter in mid-July. The Mars conjunction with Uranus was happening, and there was an interruption on the net, banks, airlines and things, and she was accurate about that, actually saying something like that might happen, and it did. Uranus conjunct with Algol, And that's like Mars was igniting stuff in July and Biden stepped down in the USA, and she did predict that, and to do with a lack of power over leadership in that area and in their chart. So now Mars is conjunct with Jupiter, and Mars energizes and Jupiter expands. So really, and Gemini and Mars, it's about energizing communications. But as she quite rightly, and she said this last month, stay out of spats, even feel it, it doesn't feel good because you're feeding polarity. And now we've got that going on really, really big time in the UK. Try your best to stay neutral. In groups it can be made worse, but we can also work for peace in groups. And Jupiter can fight for truth. Mercury rules Gemini. Mercury is now retrograde, as we know, and helps us perhaps be more objective and more neutral. Gemini is also creative and about creative writing, and it can be sextile to Leo, so colour, art, acting, social stuff, creativity, and great to start creative endeavours now. She talked about Mars and Ceres and grains and food harvest, and Uranus in Taurus means innovations in food, which are coming through. And also she talked about regeneration in water with links to Lemuria, Celestia, Homer, Pluto and Sedna. I had an interesting dream where I was pouring water out of a big cup and talking to a load of people about how important the water was. So I think it is true. There's something very, very key about water. And ancient land masses of Lemuria are being discovered. And she talked about the Dogger Bank between UK and Scandinavia and the Chile Mountains as well, that new nutrients and algae and plankton and things are being discovered, and things from the land into in the sea. So she thinks that that will continue over the next 3 or 4 years as well, that we'll find new stuff. And Mars conjunct in Uranus, the USA chart, so, and also a square between Jupiter and Saturn, and Aquarius started the new 800-year cycle with Pluto, and it's really helping to activate freedom, civil rights, grassroots stuff, networks activated by Pluto, but they were set up by Saturn and Jupiter. And kind of have a reality check about, have you met your soul tribe yet, and have you kind of, ignited anything with them? And Jupiter and Saturn are a great combo, and they're kind of cautious about expansion but strategic for long term, and it helps regards freedom and getting new systems in place and things. And the new moon is conjunct with Verona, I think she said, and this links with water links and Neptune and Pisces. So there could be things like floods, like droughts and toxicity linked to water. But we're getting more skilled with water as well, which is interesting. But also this Verona is about moral law, and she punishes those who violate the laws. And you've also got like courage linking in with Leo, and being in your heart, because Leo is associated with the heart. So live in our minds. Sorry, we have lived in our minds too much really, but the heart kind of leads towards the future, and it's a portal to the cosmos. And then I'm on to Molly McCord, and she talked about the new moon and sun and moon being 12 degrees 34 minutes, so it's rounded up to 13 degrees of Leo. And really about, it happens quickly, the new moon, and passes. So, we might need to set intentions quite quickly. We can express ourselves, stabilise, maybe in your heart, and risk being in your true self. It's a fire sign, so it gives inspiration and action and the feeling to do something. And Sun and Moon, Mars and Jupiter are active, and the Mars is behind Jupiter and Gemini, which becomes impulsive. So Mars brings in more. Jupiter is less strong but has wisdom, faith, optimism, because it's a bit further away from its actually real area it should be in, if you like, or the one it's linked to. And Gemini helps us talk quite a bit, so talk about what's on our mind and about personal expression from the heart. And there is a link between teacher-student, so there's duality with Gemini, so share what we know and be bold there. And also she talked about Venus 29 degrees of Leo moving, revealing more. The fixed signs feel more, and it's more evident that what they want and what they desire. And so fast moving messages and linked with feminine energy, and possibly a shake-up in August. And Venus in Leo, self-worth, confident, creative, breakthroughs, and then goes into Virgo. Mercury retrograde in Virgo, so a lot to do with details, checking on details and things, slowing down and evaluating. And Mercury revisits Leo, so looking at what needs re-strengthening, and more information may be needed to get things straight and reassess and look at logistics, but and remain flexible. So Gemini with Pisces is a mutable change sign. And also August the 19th is full moon in Aquarius, which will be very, very strong, I think. And do what is calling, pardon me, do what is calling you. And, Leo's a fire sign, but this may all change in August as well. So it's quite a changeable time. Sorry. You've got Venus 29 degrees of Leo, and you've got Venus electrified by Uranus and working powerfully. So more about the future self and where we want to go, and but transforming it into kind of a multi-dimensional version of ourselves. Neptune asks us to let go of what has served its time. The ego may get in the way, but the new moon kind of moves us through and gets changes quickly. Release what's needed, especially with love. Venus moves into Virgo, aligns with the body, health, mind and soul, and a more gentle feeling. And you've got Venus, Uranus, Taurus trine in Virgo in August, and you've got that Mercury retrograde, which slows it down. So Saturn and Jupiter square will keep open thoughts, and really Molly McCord says August may kind of bring a shake up, but we will be in a better place. So hopefully that's a bit of a romp through in about 12 minutes. But wish you a very happy new moon, and stay calm and stay neutral if you can. And best wishes, and have a great day. Bye-bye.